are standing directly in front of a house that was used to film one of the best wedding movies of all time.
That movie? The 1991 classic, Father of the Bride. In this video, we're going to take you around, show you some of the shooting locations of that movie. Coming right up, we cordially invite you to come along for the adventure.
Come along.
This is the home of George Banks and the family from Father of the Bride.
The house looks very similar to what it did when the movie was made.
Yeah, from what I've read, the house was actually kind of dilapidated a little bit. It wasn't in great shape before the movie was made. So the people who made the movie came in here, they actually added that white picket fence, which kind of gives it that all-American white picket fence look. They did some painting on the house. They put in some landscaping to get it looking just right for how they wanted it to look as the Banks home. George says the house is warm in the winter, cool in the summer, and looks spectacular with Christmas lights. It is seen many times throughout the movie. That house that we just showed you right there, that was the exterior for the Banks home. But that famous scene where George played basketball with his daughter right before the wedding, that was filmed at another house, which is where we're heading right now.
Let's go. Come on.
Here's where that scene was shot.
Located directly behind us is the same basketball hoop that was used in the movie scene.
Yeah, it's right there over Heather's head. You can see it right there. That's where George Banks, being played by Steve Martin, and of course his daughter Annie, who was played by Kimberly Williams, played basketball. It was a pretty touching moment in the film because Steve Martin was kind of sad. He was going to lose his daughter. She's going to get married and move out. And he really loved these father and daughter times together, playing basketball and doing things just as a father-daughter. So this was a really special moment in the movie. Of course, there was some funny stuff with the game. Steve Martin calls timeout, then he circles around his daughter, goes up for the easy layup, and misses it. And she gets the rebound. Another part, he's actually grabbing her arm, holding her back, and she takes it with one arm, the basketball, and throws it up. And you can see the basketball sail up into the night sky and circle over and land right in the hoop. So, pretty neat scene, filmed right there. The goal still looks very similar to how it looked in the movie, except for the color of the now blue strip around the backboard, which was red in the film.
George's sidekick shoe factory was right behind us.
This is the location they used. It's now a Snyder diamond store. Inside, though, we're about to go check it out. The gentleman that works here came out and told us, hey, y'all come on in, take a look around. So we said, all right, can't beat that. That's very nice. Let us come in and see the actual interior filming location of the Sidekick Shoe Factory. Let's go check it out.
Come on.
The interior still looks very similar to how it did in the movie, with appliances now taking the place of the shoes that were here for the movie.
George's office would have been somewhere up here.
Yeah, he would have had that view of the showroom floor from somewhere up in here, looking out over the shoe factory. Here's a view of it from the movie with his office up there where we were standing in the top left corner.
Up behind us is a location of the bar scene.
Yeah, it's right over here. It's changed hands a couple of times since the movie was actually made. In the scene, George was trying to calm down Brian McKenzie and his fiancée, of course, Annie Banks, because he had decided to give her a blender as a pre-wedding gift, and she didn't care for that too much. As a matter of fact, Kimberly Williams, who played Annie, of course, said that they had to do the scene like 50 times, the blender scene, because she was supposed to cry on cue, and she couldn't do it. So Steve Martin, she said, kept calmly walking out of the room and come back in, and she did it again and again and again. Finally, she said she got so upset that she couldn't get the scene right. She started thinking in her head, I'm a terrible actress. I shouldn't have this part. Why am I even here? And then she started crying. She was crying because she was so upset what a bad actress she was. And that's the take they finally used for the actual movie. Food for thought.
It's awesome that the tiled floor in black and white inside the bar, along with the bar itself, still look just the way they did in the movie. And the exterior still looks the same all these years later as well.
And then right across the street from the bar?
Yeah, in Father of the Bride 2, you can actually see, kind of from this angle, part of the bar there. That's because George's Sidekick's shoe factory was located right in here. Of course, it looks different now all these years later, but this is the location of it. There's a better shot of the bar in the back right corner of this shot.
Here's how the church looked for the wedding in the movie and how it looks now.
Behind us is the church that was used for the wedding scene.
This church was actually used for the exterior shots for the wedding. It's a great kind of country looking church, so they figured it would be a great place to do the exterior shots. Across town, somewhere else, they shot some of the interior stuff for that wedding. The underlying theme of this movie was kind of George Banks didn't want to spend much money, and weddings are expensive. I remember one line was something like where Frank asked him to buy something, and George says, well, that cost more than my car did. First car I ever bought. And Frank's like, welcome to the 90s, Mr. Banks. So that was pretty funny. There's also a part where his son wanted to invite somebody to the wedding. So George is like, who did you invite to the wedding? He said, my friend Cameron. And he's like, for $250, Cameron can see you after the wedding.
Oh.
They added some fake snow onto the bushes for the movie.
We hope you enjoyed checking out all these different filming locations from the father of the bride.
Yeah, I know I had a lot of fun. This movie was one of my favorites growing up. It's still a favorite. Love the movie. I think we better go watch it now, right?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Woohoo!
Y'all be sure to hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you can come along with us on future adventures.
Come along.